Hi, this is one of the High Priests of Khonshu Rave, Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. We're proud members of the collective, and you're listening to one of the collective members, the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast. Hope you enjoy.
Wendell Vaughn, the first Earthman ever fleeted the protector of the universe, bonded to the energy-transforming quantum bands that were both weapons and symbols of the station. He fought an ongoing battle to defend all life in the universe from cosmic evil as Quasar.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Zone, episode 13. Well, 13 sometimes is an unlucky number, and it may be for the Avengers this time. I am Phil. Matt may be jumping in later, but hey, Will is back.
I'm Will. Hey.
So, did you listen to the last episode?
I haven't had a chance to catch it yet. It's been a crazy week.
we got listener feedback, and someone said because of your vast knowledge of the Marvel Universe, he compared you to Eon.
Well, that's my misspent youth. When you grow up in rural Arkansas, reading, rereading, rereading the official handbook of the Marvel Universe is the height of entertainment. So
that was like my time. I read over and over. I can't tell you how many times I reread like the Quasar issues and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I think that's why I wear glasses today, is because you remember the type on the official handbooks of the Marvel Universe?
Oh, they're like small,
super tiny. You're like, yeah, thank you, Marvel. I wear glasses now. I'm sure genetics has nothing to do with it.
But yes, you weren't here the last episode. Do you want to give like some brief thoughts about Quasar 4 that we covered last week?
It's just it's a good, solid issue. I mean, it's just a good, solid little superhero story that tells you a little bit more about him. I think it sets up a little bit it starts to set up the dynamic between his father, and Eon, which, kind of goes full blown later in the series.
Well, yeah, it really was set up him and Eon, because that's when he comes up with the idea of like, hey, I'll track down all the extraterrestrials on Earth.
So we have a good something to carry us through issue 12, and then things get really interesting.
Oh yeah,
really, really interesting.
But so I figured we'd bring up Avengers 4 again, because tonight we're doing Avengers 311.
Yep.
The cover kind of gives it away. Hydra Base destroyed.
I wonder what happens. Sorry.
I know. Because it says the story immediately follows the events of Quasar number 4. Like, I guess he flew right from Quasar 4 into this book. Kind of false advertising. I mean, it says Acts of Vengeance. Hydra Base does get destroyed, but it's kind of false advertising. Because, I mean, you get see all these other Avengers on the cover. They don't show up. Only Quasar shows up.
It's Quasar 4.5 is what it is.
Yeah. The Weakest Point is the title. John Byrne, Paul Ryan and Tom Palmer, artists. Nelson Yomtov, colorist. Bill Oakley, Howard Mackey, Tom DeFalco, of course.
I didn't realize how long kind of this team was on the Avengers. I thought it was kind of a short blip, but it was well over a year. I mean,
yeah. Because I'm thinking, what was it at right after Acts of Vengeance?
They go international like in 320 something, I think.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, weren't Byrne and some of these guys gone by that point?
I think so. Yeah, there's going to be spoilers about the shadowed figure in this issue.
All these if you don't know who these shadowy figures are in this book, I mean, you need to read more comics or something.
Exactly. We officially prescribe more comics for you.
Yes. But yeah, it starts off with Quasar once again, just like when we covered the annual, Quasar flying to Avengers Island.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and his color's right this time.
Oh, we'll get to that. There's at least one or two panels in here where some of this stuff switches. But yeah. So he flies in thinking about the landscaping of the island and about the Avengers support staff. Boy, foreshadowing much.
Oh yeah, I had forgotten. Fabian was a Captain America villain, wasn't he? Is that his name? Yeah.
Oh, you mean was it Fabian Stankiewicz?
Yeah, he was a giant robot guy or
I
something.
think he actually attacked the event. Didn't he attack the Avengers?
He may have. It's been a long time since I've read those issues.
Yeah, because I think he showed up in an Avengers issue or two. Oh yeah, didn't he? I think there was one other issue he was in, but then didn't he show up when they were on Letterman too or something?
Oh yeah, that may have been it too. Yeah. Oh god, that was like 238 or something. Maybe.
It was in like 220s or 230s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a while ago because this is 311. But yeah, the support staff's made up of like Stankiewicz, showed up in the Avengers before. You get Peggy Carter in this. Everyone else familiar with her.
Oh, John Jameson wasn't Manwolf on staff for a while. Well, he wasn't Manwolf, but he was
he was actually Captain America's pilot. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
We get some of these other guys. We get the one guy. What's his name? Medaka or something. So of course, he's from Wakanda. There's a few other guys on here.
So if Peggy was in World War II, then she's kind of getting up there.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, she's kind of older here. I mean, what was it, like 2011 or 12? Something. I think they finally had her funeral, which, like, in the 60s when Cap came out of the ice, Peggy and Sharon Carter were like sisters.
Yeah.
but when they finally had the funeral for Peggy Carter, they did like the movies and was like, oh, my Aunt Peggy. Oh, that sliding time.
Yep.
But yeah, Quasar comes flying in, and the support staff's like, oh, they see him on the monitors and all the optical scanners and scanning his retinas, and they have sensors in the doors for the fingerprints and everything. So he comes down. So Quasar comes down and meets the support staff, and Peggy says she can't raise any of the heroes.
Is it some kind of plot against all crime fighters?
I don't know. Is there a plot in Quasar? This is the weird part. It seems like they're trying to like crowbar that whole quantum battle from Quasar 4 into Acts of Vengeance.
Yeah. Because,
Quasar's saying about, oh, I just fought this villain I'd never met before named Quantum. You think it's a part of the plot against all all crime fighters? And I'm thinking, Quantum wasn't, well, at least on that we know of, Loki didn't send Quantum. Quantum was kind of stalking Aquarian, and Quasar just happened to jump in the middle.
Spoilers, Loki. Oh no,
I'm sorry, but I mean, we aren't really covering we'll get them like Quasar's issues of Acts of Vengeance, but we really don't cover the end of this. So yeah, there's a mysterious guy in a suit, and it's Loki. Although, yeah, because that's where we get to next is like him sitting in his throne room or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you don't know it's Loki, it's like, is that the devil?
Yeah, why? It's got
sitting in a dark room with like all these like big bonfires around him, and then I guess I don't know if he has like a big gong at the front door because there's like a ball.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, this mysterious figure you're not supposed to know is Loki yet, because he's dressed in, like you said, in like a 3-piece suit. He's not wearing an Asgardian.
And
he's talking about a long-time thorn in his side.
Yeah,
so.
I wonder who the guy in the green cloak and cape could be. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Might spell doom for the Avengers, but
it might.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know the other one, that's one thing. But yeah, if you don't know Doom, you need to read more comics. But even like the other guy who's the Mandarin. I mean,
yeah,
they basically just cloak his face. They basically just hide his face in shadow. You can tell
it's the Mandarin. It's even when he has a stupid armor there.
I mean, that's the armor he was wearing at the time. You can tell.
Yeah, but it's the Mandarin. Yeah.
But yeah, basically Loki's playing all the other villains because he tells Doom, the others haven't guessed that you are manipulating them. And the Mandarin walks in and says, manipulating who? And Loki's like, why the heroes, of course.
And it's been a long time since I've read Acts of Vengeance, but doesn't it boil down to that Loki feels a great deal of guilt for causing the Avengers to be born? That's why he was too...
Yeah, I think it's like guilt and anger and stuff. Yeah. But it's like me, like I said before, it's basically like guys like Spider-Man and Moon Knight. Basically, everybody else who isn't in the Avengers, like, hey, what did I do?
The Punisher. The Punisher. Who did he take on? Because I thought it was. Did he take on Doom? It was like nuts. I'm like, okay, there's no way.
I can't remember, but I know Daredevil took on Ultron.
Oh yeah, that was
That was a weird one. There's Matt.
Hey, there's the man.
We only got to page 6. You know, the shadowy villains. You don't know who they are.
Oh, all right. Keeping it low key.
Who's the guy in the green? Who's the guy in the green cloak? I don't know, but it spells doom for the Avengers.
Yes.
But yeah, we're talking about the villains. You know, it's Doom and the Mandarin. But I love the Mandarin. He's just like, oh, careful, Doom. You don't have your diplomatic immunity. It's like, what? The villains wouldn't touch each other if they had diplomatic immunity?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know that I'd really want to get on Doom's bad side, you know, especially if I were another villain, because, I mean, Doom, right?
I know. They always want to play them, that they're always like, every one of them's the biggest ego in the room. But yeah, I mean, Doom has science and magic. Yeah, I wouldn't want to cross him either.
Or I'd want to make Reed Richards a really close personal friend.
Yeah.
On speed dial.
Oh, no, I heard that guy's an egomaniac.
Yeah, Cap had to kick him off the team and everything.
That's right. But yeah, Matt, we were talking too. It's like, it seemed like Quasar in those first couple pages, they were trying to like shoehorn that Avengers 4 we covered last episode and as part of like Acts of Vengeance. But I'm like, you know, Loki didn't send Quantum. Quantum was stalking the Aquarian, and Quasar just happened to butt in. Yeah. I mean, did you get that at all, Matt? That was. Oh.
Whoops.
There he is. There's 2 of them. He looks like Quantum. There's like 2 of them on the screen.
Yes.
But no, Matt, I was saying it seemed like they were like trying to shoehorn Quasar 4 into Acts of Vengeance. But I mean, did you get that at all? That like Loki sent Quantum? I didn't.
No, I didn't get that at all.
It was like he was talking Aquarian and Quasar just kind of butted in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like Quantum is under Loki's pay grade when he's recruiting supervillains.
Yeah,
he's not exactly, you know, Frogman. You know, I mean, sorry.
But I mean, Quasar was off Earth at this point for how many years? It's like, and before that, he was like stuck up at Project Pegasus. Most villains he hasn't encountered before, so it's like, oh, I fought this guy Quantum I've never fought before. Well, yeah,
you haven't fought most people before.
Exactly.
And is he wearing a serpent crown? Okay, probably not.
But so Quasar's talking to the support staff about the whole big plot that may be happening while they're eating donuts. Or at least Fabian is.
Yeah. Mr. Donut.
Yes. And then something hits the island and there's a big, huge sound like Iron Man's boot jets.
What in Blue Blaze? Sorry, that's what Nova says. Blue Blazes, right? Nova?
I think so. At least back in the day. Yeah. No wonder people think Quasar's Nova.
Exactly.
Oh, jeez. But there he is.
Sorry.
The whole plot. These villains are plotting to keep Matt off the show.
Exactly.
They're punching holes in me like I'm Avengers Island.
Oh,
nice.
I just love the foreshadowing. It's like, what's that sound like? Iron Man's boot jets, but like a lot of them.
It's a lot of boot jets.
And they're kind of iron.
What?
They're kind of irony, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Irony hits Avengers Island. Yeah, because we see Doom's contribution to Acts of Vengeance. All these robots just flying up, flying through the island, flying back.
You know, that's interesting because Doom going after the Avengers, some of my favorite Iron Man stories, you know, Armor Wars is, of course, awesome, but there's 150 where Iron Man and Doom go back to Camelot.
Yes, and I think
awesome story.
I think and then in 250 both of them go to the future. Yeah,
those are some good stories, and I kind of got that Doom had this kind of mutual respect. He probably figured out that it was Tony Stark. Of course, now that's not a secret. I guess.
I think in 250 he did figure out it was Tony Stark, but then like the time travel like wiped his mind. But yeah, like you said,
that's right. Yeah,
it's pointless now. Everyone knows Tony Stark's Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they threw back to that in Civil War when Iron Man and Cap are having a heart-to-heart. There's a big flashback for when Iron Man met King Arthur and all that stuff. Medieval crossover.
Oh, but yeah, I guess because they made the whole Iron Man reference, Peggy Carter's like, she's like, oh wait, it's guys in suits, and Quasar's like, no, I don't think so. The proportions look all wrong. I think they're robots.
Let's blast some open and see. Sorry.
Exactly. Well, that's what Quasar says. Like, everybody get some weapons and let's go, because they can't get any of the Avengers on the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were saying like where we thought all the support staff was from. Like Fabian was from the Avengers. Peggy Carter's Captain America. Was that guy Medaka is from Wakanda. But then I think the guy, the security chief O'Brien. I think he's from Iron Man, like earlier Iron Man stories, was it?
Maybe. Yeah, I can't remember.
So basically, if you were like a supporting person in an Avengers book, you might be on the support staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the battle suit that Fabian. Yeah, that's why he's here.
Yeah, that's like he attacked the Avengers like once or twice. Oh, you know what it was? You were saying you thought he was from Captain America. Wasn't he in that issue with like Speedball and a bunch of them when they tried? Those guys tried out for the Avengers.
It may have been. Yeah, I can't remember for sure, but yeah, that sounds right.
Nah, kid, you can't join the Avengers, but hey, you can be part of the janitor staff.
It's sort of like, I don't know how much you guys in your childhood or something followed professional wrestling, but I did, and I would read or hear interviews nowadays about old school wrestlers. They always brought their gear in case someone got sick or someone was too messed up on pills. So, it would always be a guy that set up the ring, ready to jump in and fill a spot. Always keep your armor suit ready.
It's because they are real Americans. They fight for what's right. Brother. So yeah, Quasar and the others are trying to blast the robots before they sink the island, and so far so good. Colors are good so far.
Mm-hmm. So far,
yes. Quasar's telling them don't get overconfident, but like we were saying at the beginning, Matt, I mean the cover is like false advertising because it looks like all the Avengers are there. But hey, at least for our purposes, this is good because we just get Quasar.
That's right. Yeah, it's Quasar 4.5. It's awesome.
Yeah. Good stuff to do. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you probably already covered it, but in the first page they say, "We sincerely suggest you pick up Quasar 4." Hoping that if they did, they would already like him, so they would be okay
with this being a Quasar issue.
That's what I said. I think he took off on that last page of 4, and I don't think he came back down until he flew right into this issue. So, so Fabian gets his battle suit on and starts blasting some robots. All right. Page 14. Here's where it gets cut. It starts to get a little funky. Quasar's blast is pink.
That's right. Just like Fabian's.
Yeah. I think somebody got lazy on the blaster color.
Yeah. Unless Quasar's just trying to make Fabian feel okay, hey, it's okay to have pink rays. I'm with you.
We're fighting for our lives and to defend the headquarters so it doesn't sink. But yeah, here, let me change the color of my blast. Let me spare a thought to what it looks like.
Yeah.
But then page 15, we get an interlude.
Meanwhile, in space.
Yes. Right now, in a galaxy far, far away.
Exactly. Nice.
Thank you. We get Star Fox.
Sometimes Avenger. So that's the closest to a non-Quasar Avenger being in here.
That's right. Yeah. He sneaks on a alien ship, knocks out a guard, and takes his armor. and goes looking for his, what is it? His
niece? Isn't she his niece?
niece or grandniece, something
Grandniece,
like that.
something,
Yeah. But Nebula for you Guardians of the Galaxy fans, but it's Nebula, but she's not like a cyborg.
Yeah. He is courteous enough to drag the guard inside before taking his mask off so he doesn't suffocate him.
Yes. The real Nebula, not that poser who took down Dr. Druid.
Yeah. That's right.
So she's basically, her and her cohort are looking for stones carved by a race that was old when the galaxy was a-borning. They hold yet they hold in their time-worn faces the future of the universe. And Star Fox is like, what? I heard her shouting this crazy stuff beforehand, but where could they get this power? And she says, and it is not exquisite irony that the mastery over all that lives will be delivered to me by a shriveled or old earthling who does not even begin to guess his place in the scheme of things. Once again, we see the old man.
Old dude in New Jersey? I think.
Yeah, the dude who blew up his basement when we covered Avengers 308.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big jump from basement to universe. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah. But I mean, we get there at least for the last part or two of Nebula's story. But meanwhile, I love on the next page, first box says, and speaking of schemes, as everyone's fighting for their life. Oh, and also someone says Dr. Kincaid's. I believe he's from Thor. So.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think Kincaid. I think I don't know. After Jane Foster broke up with Thor, after the whole Dawn Blake went away and she broke up with Thor, I think she married Dr. Kincaid for a while. So Jane Foster had a type for a while. Doctors.
Yeah.
So one of the robots grabs one of the extensions from Fabian's arbor and pulls him off the ground. And Quasar's like, blast it all. Some of us have shield training, but people like Stankiewicz are just hotshot amateurs. You can tell he's mad because his aura's turned pink.
Nice.
Yeah. The water level's getting real high now, too, so frustration is setting in.
The water level's not getting high. The island's getting low.
True, yeah.
But by the time we get to the next page, Quasar's energy, well, page 16 page 18, all his energy discharges and big hands are the right color again.
Yeah, is that it looks like an attempt at a baseball mitt?
Yeah, it looks like a catcher's mitt, yeah.
Sure.
So he grabs Fabian in the catcher's mitt, then pulls him up. But then he tells Fabian, he's like, even though you're untrained, we need your battle suit's power.
Then he gets mad again because it's red.
Oh yeah, but as they're flying over some looks like some fuel a fuel depot where the robots are running away from. Oh yeah, the Quinjet fuel tanks, they even say. They're running away too easily.
My Akbar senses are tingling.
It's
a trap.
Yeah.
Wait, last episode was like the movie, the music reference episode. This is like the Star Wars episode.
Yeah. Now, do you think this would? It's maybe a mistake that they protect the giant Quinjet fuel tanks with just a regular sized chain link fence.
Hey man, that's probably like the OSHA bare minimum safety features.
Yeah, and this is a total side note tangent, but this just got brought up the other day in a conversation. There's a documentary a few years ago, called Cul-de-sac, about something that happened in San Diego where someone broke into a military base, stole a tank, and just drove it through the streets of San Diego, smashing into cars and.
Oh my god!
Oh, I think I heard about that before.
It's on YouTube. It's crazy. But my buddy who lived in San Diego told me, he goes, "Yeah, it was weird that they kept the tanks just behind the chain link fence, which they stopped doing after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the military, the Avengers were like, oh, no one would dare trespass on our island, let alone go behind that chain link fence.
Yeah, right.
Because they even showed like all the security features when Quasar showed up, like we were talking about, is like retina scans, and like they had like the fingerprint scanner on the door when he touched it. Yeah,
and it must have been the whole doorway too, because he just touched it anywhere. But
I guess the robots didn't stop to walk through the metal detector. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Darn it.
No one could get to this fuel unless they had a boat and feet and hands and could climb the fence.
So Peggy's like, oh no, we're gonna lose, and Quasar's like, never say die, and then he says, get back into the communications room, try to get the Avengers again.
Well, he actually says, never say die till you're dead. Kind of like a Yogi Berra thing.
Did you say Yogi or Yoda? Did you say Yogi or Yoda?
Say Yogi, I did.
Until you're dead, never say die. So as she's running to the communications room, Quasar blasts a robot with another pink blast. And Peggy's like, it's possible this could be their end game. They may have taken out all of the rest of the Avengers. But Quasar's right. I haven't survived by giving up. And then a robot comes crashing through the window. She blasts it with her gun and blasts it back out the window. And we see the island start to tilt on one side. It's going under. And Quasar and the others are standing in like the water's like halfway up their legs.
Byrne must really have not liked Hydra Base. I mean,
maybe
after what he was trying to do to it with the lava men back in 305, 304, and now this, just kill Hydra Base, right?
Yeah,
maybe I didn't know if it was like Byrne didn't like Hydra Base, or if he was just like, this is how you know this storyline is serious. Acts of vengeance. First issue out, we sink Avengers Island.
Yeah, or this is a real big pun joke coming up, but maybe Byrne just thought that Hydra Base had its ups and downs. With Lava Man, downs with Acts of Vengeance.
Wait a second, Matt, say that again. What's the pun?
Maybe Burns just thought that Hydra Base had its ups and downs.
There we go. Awesome.
I should just have that ready for when Matt's on here.
Try the fish. You will soon. Because your island is sinking.
I'll be here all week.
Tip your waitress. Or your waiter.
Yes.
So anyway, the robots are retreating, and they're like, wait, what happened? They're like, we weren't winning. It can't be this easy, but they are retreating. They're flying away. And Quasar's like, it doesn't matter. Let's take the time to take advantage of the time they give us. Go to evacuation alert. Get the Quinjets in the air. I'll see about saving Hydra Base. He flies underwater and sees there's a hole in every flotation cylinder. So he uses like a giant
jack.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, the island has a bunch of flats, so he's jacking it up.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Better call AAA. So one of the guys is saying, O'Brien, come on. The island's stabilized, but it probably won't last. He's like, I got to get Peggy out of the mansion. And Peggy doesn't want to leave until she, to the last possible moment, trying to raise the Avengers. And he's like, don't worry about it. They're here, lying to her to get her out of the mansion. And he says, I don't know what Quasar's doing under the island, but I wouldn't count on it lasting much longer.
And it's red again.
Yes. Yeah. Well, their energy's red, but yeah, the jack has turned, I don't know if it's because of the water, but it's turned blue. But Quasar's thinking everything seems so calm all of a sudden. Why would they retreat when they were so close to victory? And that's when we see
The ticking time bomb.
That's right. They planted a bomb on the on those fuel storage tanks. We didn't bring that up just for anything. But yeah, so of course, Quasar's under the island thinking unless the whole attack was just a distraction to cover what they were really doing, as you see 3, 2, 1.
Nice.
And Quasar and at least one other person go, the fuel dump. And O'Brien and Peggy are about to be washed away until Quasar saves them, pulls them out of the water, and puts them in the Quinjet with Jarvis. And he's like, because they're like, you saved us. And Jarvis is like, indeed he did. I only wish. And Quasar's like, don't say it. You only wish I had done as much for Hydra Base. He's like, no, Master Quasar, I point no finger. I was going to say I only wish we had never removed our headquarters from New York City, and Byrne probably feels the same way.
Yeah, I think so.
That's Byrne speaking through Jarvis. I wish they had not moved the mansion.
And we're gonna fix that. They are going to move back now.
Yes.
So says I.
Because nothing like this could have happened. And Quasar says, I wonder, somehow I can't shake the feeling that this was more of a beginning than an ending, though, well, maybe the beginning of the end.
Bum, bum, bum.
And it says, Acts of Vengeance continues in Iron Man. See, it says Acts of Vengeance continues in Iron Man 250 and Thor 411, but I think it's actually Iron Man 251, because, yeah, Iron Man 250 was that.
Oh, yeah, that crossover issue.
Iron Man and Doctor Doom time travel thing, unless they count that as Acts of Vengeance because it's Doom. Who knows?
Who knows?
But we won't be covering those. But next up will be Quasar number 5, where he's still underwater.
Yeah.
Oh, and we already went over the results of the favorite Avenger poll, right?
Yes, this was the actual issue I pulled the results for that Avengers poll from. Yes. So you get that, and
I'm still surprised people like Gilgamesh more than U.S. Agent.
I almost put it up by there was some article, I don't know if Comic Book Resources or somebody put it up. It was like, was it like the 20 worst costumes of like the 80s? And like the outfit Quasar was wearing in this issue made it the list, and so did Gilgamesh.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Yeah.
They just don't like headbands.
Yeah, no, I think they even said, they're like, what's up with that headband? Then what was up with that emblem? They're like, you got a better one later, but
he did get a better one later.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they didn't say this, but I guess I see their point. It's like, what's that emblem pointing to?
Wow, I hadn't considered that.
Hello, Kayla. How are you? But yeah, I can't wait for next episode. Next 2 episodes, Avengers 5 and then Avengers 6. But Avengers 5, I can't wait. Absorbing Man.
Sweet.
Yes.
Wait,
it was mostly associated at Quasar 5.
Yeah, Quasar 5 and 6. Yeah.
Yes.
Absorbing Man gets. I'm excited to talk about it too. He's more of a Thor villain, right? That's what. Yep.
Thor and Hulk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe if you want to keep track of the Absorbing Man before his encounter with Quasar, I believe before that it was like he was in Hulk 348.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he kind of pulls himself back together like right outside Vegas, because that's what was around the time of the Grey Hulk in Vegas storyline.
That's right. This was some good stories.
Yeah.
And then after 5, we get 6 is the Red Ghost, but a Venom appearance and some other things, right?
Yeah, and the Living Laser. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's right, the laser.
And the Watcher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Soon to be regular, the Watcher.
But yeah, we do this like every episode. But yeah, it'll be Quasar 5 and 6. Then Marvel team up 113. Flashback to his first team up with Spider-Man, because that'll take us into Quasar 7. And then after Quasar 7, we'll do that We'll do the Project Pegasus storyline and Marvel Team Up Annual 5.
Oh yeah, let's see. Did I find the Project? Yeah, I showed you guys the Project Pegasus hardcover, right? Last time before last, since I wasn't here last time.
I think you mentioned it. I don't know if you showed us it, but yeah. I found the individual issues, but like I think Matt was saying a couple episodes back, like the one with Deathlock was a couple bucks more, and I don't know why, because I don't think that was even his first appearance.
Yeah, it wasn't.
No, but he was a big deal for a very short time, I think, back in the 90s, maybe.
Oh yeah, he got his own series in the 90s, but like that Project Pegasus stuff, what was that, like 1980 or something?
Oh yeah, that was way back there.
Yeah. So maybe because it was one of his early appearances. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just reread that because I bought the digital version of it, so I'll try to keep that away from the computer when we do that one. Weird noises, but yeah, there wasn't any other notable appearances in that issue. But Deathlock was, we'll talk about it, but he was not himself. And,
yeah. And I liked it that Quasar's so connected. He's connected to Captain America. One of his best buds is Benjamin J. Grimm.
Sorry.
He's just really connected,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and next issue is his first real big name villain that he got.
Yes.
Finally get some competition.
Big name villain. Acts of Vengeance continues.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's coming off headlining an Avengers issue. Is probably his biggest push in terms of trying to get people over to buy his new book, because you got the Acts of Vengeance. They see it across all the books, so maybe they're picking it up because they like those storylines. And even in the beginning of this, and forgive me if you guys already noted it, but they sort of spell it out. That's what the Acts of Vengeance is. Superheroes fighting villains that they've never fought before.
Yep, exactly.
Well, that's what I said. It was Loki's plot against the Avengers, but like all these guys like Spider-Man and like Daredevil, Moon Knight, Punisher, everyone else was like, hey, why are we getting attacked?
Why do I have to fight Dr. Doom? Okay, he's not my guy.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. Like Daredevil had to fight like Ultron.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, luckily Spider-Man got like the Captain Universe powers, but Daredevil was just like, what the hell?
That's right.
Yeah, it really blindsided him.
Oh man.
Oh wait, I put the button away. Oh come on.
You shouldn't have done that.
Wait a second, Matt. What did Doom do to Daredevil? Or
Ultron? Ultron really blindsided Daredevil.
Oh man, when you're on, I better not put that button away.
I should just do hand gestures. Just watch the lower screen for the YouTube.
just as long as they don't change color.
Yeah, right. So, but let's ask Eon.
I told him about that. Yeah.
Can you remember another Avengers issue that was just under the Avengers banner that just had one of them in it? I'm trying to come up with anything. I think there's maybe got to be, because like everybody else fell in battle, so maybe it was up to Cap to do something. But
wasn't it like 298? Wasn't it just like a whole Jarvis issue?
Oh yeah, that was two.
Well, it was like right after the Dr. Druid thing, the team had like broken up, and like it was like I think there was like one issue before Cap put that team with Gilgamesh and everyone back together. It was just like Jarvis, So I think it even said at somewhere. It even said like Jarvis, the last Avenger.
Yeah, did Kurt Busiek do kind of a triathlon focused issue? Maybe.
I
can't remember. I don't know. I mean, this doesn't really have any other Avengers in it. I don't know that another Avengers book has, maybe there's some subplots like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are in Wundagore, or, some weird stuff going on. But this has one other Avenger in it, I guess, Star Fox.
Yeah.
For what, a page and a half, 2 pages?
Really? Yeah, not doing much except disarming a guard.
Yeah.
I think
you
like
know-
kind of. I think like later on, like during Bendis's run, they might have done.
Oh, yeah.
He might have did like issues with like maybe only 1 or 2 Avengers in them.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested. Maybe I'm gonna read ahead to some future issues to see if there was any backlash in the letters pages of Avengers
yeah.
Assemble, to see if anyone says, "Hey, Quasar was
We're-
all right, but Thor is clearly on the cover in the foreground."
Well, yeah, they all were. That's what we were saying. I mean, everyone's
Okay.
on the cover, but yeah.
Get the button ready. I got one for you. You ready?
All right, wait. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Letter Writer writes in and says, "Hey, Thor was on the cover. I'm Mighty Thor that he wasn't, featured in the issue."
Oh, good lord.
They just keep getting worse and worse.
But well, that's the other thing. I don't know how far ahead you're gonna have to read, because it's so weird that back in the day you had to like write in, and your letter might have hit the letter page like 6 issues later.
Yeah, it was
6
weird
months
because they would do like the summers. They would do the bi-monthly stuff, so
Oh,
letter
yeah.
pages would get off. It was even weirder. Yeah.
And then if you had like an ad or something or an extra page of story, then that pushed it. But I'm just saying, these days you email them and your letter might be in the next issue.
Yeah. It might be in that issue. Sorry.
Yeah. And the letter sections, they say that you have to include your return address unless you specifically mention that you don't want it, which I always thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, it seemed like back in the day they were always like, if you want some pen pals.
I'm
Right
thinking
in.
about, I have a bunch of old stamps, maybe to promote the podcast, we should really find the frequent letter writers to the back page of Quasar and say, "Hey, if you still live at this address, you should listen to our podcast."
Then you get a letter back. That was my son. He moved out like 30 years ago.
Yeah. I'm just
All
saying, word of mouth marketing. Let's bring it back.
I know. All right. That is. I mean,
Direct mail promo. And congrats, by the way, on the award at the festival,
Congrats.
the Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, Indie Popcorn, the Capes and Lunatics won an award, and I mean, specifically, I believe the entry there was like 2 different entries. I believe the entry that won may have been this show, Quantum Zone. So.
Sweet, that is very cool.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we won the award for best comic podcast. So, yeah, gentlemen, take a bow, because it's a win for the whole team, but I mean, specifically, I believe this show may have won it.
Awesome. It's a little frightening that there are lots of people out there like us.
I know. I was just like, wait a second. I was like, Quantum Zone. I was like, did we win for best comic podcast or podcast with the worst puns?
That's the one right there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, congratulations. That's awesome.
But yes, I believe certificates are in the mail for all, so expect those. Yes.
Sweet.
All right, so are we done? Matt was talking about like threatening people through the mail, so
Yeah.
Mail it from the library. Sorry.
Yes.
All right, so Will, where can people find you, especially this weekend?
This weekend. Funny you should mention that. I will be tabling at Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll have some advanced copies of Diary of Night, the trade paperbacks. And, of course, you can always find me online at Walred on Twitter, Walred at Gmail, Quantum Zone, willallred.com. If you're trying to find me and you can't, you're not really trying very hard.
So you'll be there all this weekend?
Yep, I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's good. Heroes Con is an awesome convention because it's all about comics.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's its whole thing. Is there's a ton of artists there, lots of writers, and lots of comics.
Because I was just saying, this is on YouTube now, but this should hit the podcast Friday. So yeah, if you're in the area or you can get down there, yeah, go see Will.
Yeah, I'll talk your ear off about Quasar and try to sell you one of my books.
Tell him you love the Quantum Zone, and you. and the bad puns.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, where can people find you?
You can find me all over social media at Matt Kona, MatTKona. You can even email me, mattkonastandup@gmail.com. And if you want to find my stand-up videos, there are maybe a couple of them on YouTube. And yeah, I'm just going to yield the rest of my time to ask Will a question like I have a few times. But is there anything you're on the lookout for at the Comic Con, at HeroCon, in terms of books, or are you just looking to get the word out for yours and hang out with people?
I love, well, it's mainly just getting the word out for mine, but dude, I'm on the hunt for back issues too. I'll take some time away from the table, and I mean, I'd like to find a really good copy of Captain America First Appearance Quasar. I've got a copy, but it's an old, kind of beat up a little bit. But yeah, just filling in holes in my Avengers runs, and yeah, I'm a nerd. I'm definitely a nerd. I want more comics. More comics is better. More better.
That's a writer, people.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, don't worry. We're all nerds here.
How about you, Phil?
Nice.
What about you? What about your other award-winning ventures, and what's next this week?
Well, if you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks, I'm sure you hear a bunch of the other shows, and make sure you follow the Capes and Lunatics podcast, so Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks. For this show, send us feedback. We got feedback last episode. So Will was on. So who are me and Matt? Email us capesandlunatics@gmail.com, facebook.com/quantumzonepod, @quantumzonepod, and @CL Sidekicks on Twitter. Soshin from last episode, send us more thoughts. We love it. Ray from Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast, you said we got you back into reading Quasar again. So
awesome.
Come on, Ray, send me some thoughts. Or the voicemail if you don't want to write, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. All right. What can we take away from tonight's episode? Watch where you go swimming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't put your mansion on a pontoon.
I don't know if I'd pay that much for a oceanfront property.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
All right.
I bow to the superior pun making skills here.
Oh, no, I think the master's right there.
Thanks, fellas. All right.
He sits in the library all day working them up.
Yeah. And even if you have a low-level Avengers job, you may have to fight invaders at some point.
That's right.
Keep your space suit handy.
All right, everyone. I think we've tortured you enough this week. All right. That was been another episode of the Quantum Zone, episode 13. Like I said in the beginning, Matt, you didn't hear me in the beginning. I said episode 13. 13 is an unlucky number for the Avengers this week.
Yeah. Yes.
Next week, like we said, Quasar 5, Absorbing Man. I cannot wait.
Yes.
That's a good issue. Quasar 5 and Quasar. Next 2 episodes, back to back. We get to do 2 in a row. Quasar's book. Yes.
All right.
Absorbing Man. Red Ghost. Living Laser.
The Watcher.
A brief appearance. And they even say, I think, on the cover, brief appearance by Venom.
That's right.
She said, I have to remember this 2 episodes from now to wear this.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Send us your thoughts and go see Will this weekend. Remember,
Yes,
Quantum
please.
Zoners, keep it quantum.